let's see what we have for you guys here today. And first, we are going to talk about alarm product family here. We are going to give an introduction about what kind of products we have in Hikvision regarding alarm products. Then we are going to give a brief introduction about the AX Pro alarm systems. And finally, we are going to walk you towards the practical configuration of the AX Pro alarm system. Then let's dive into the alarm product family. So as you can see, initially we can divide our alarm systems to two categories. The first one is the public alarm, and where you can install alarm systems in the public areas. Under that, you got that emergency alarm. So in any case of an emergency, in case of any panic, you can just simply alarm the other people. And there are also security radars that can identify an alarming situation. That's the public alarm category. Now we are going to talk about the intrusion alarm. Under the intrusion alarm, actually there are three main categories: AX Hybrid Intrusion Series, AX Hybrid Pro Intrusion Series, and AX Pro Series Wireless Intrusion. So as you guys can see that we have highlighted AX Pro Series Wireless Intrusion. That's the topic that we are going to focus on today. And regarding all these alarm products, we have done a training before this session covering all these general areas of our Hikvision alarm. So you can go back to our YouTube channel and have a view and refresh your memory also. So for now, let's talk about the AX Pro Series Wireless Intrusion products. Here you can see the system topology of our AX Pro series. The central panel is, you can see the wireless panel. So it has numerous connectivity options. You can just connect it with LAN and with Wi-Fi. It also got a 4G module. You can simply connect it with a SIM card also to the internet. And then there are also sensors and detectors that you can connect wirelessly to this our main wireless panel. There are wireless arming tools to activate and deactivate our alarm systems. And there are wireless outputs that can give outputs like audible alarms like sirens. Like there are wireless output that can be connected wirelessly. And in our wireless panels, we are using mainly two radio frequencies. As you can see here, there are 868 megahertz and 433 megahertz. Likewise, the thing is, these our wireless alarm panels you can directly control with your mobile phone, and also if you are using this with the CCTV, you can integrate this wireless alarm panels with the CCTV system as well. And if you are doing a bigger, not a home type in residential installation, you are going for a higher scale installation, actually you can centralize manage all these things with our centralized server also. Here you can see a detailed overview about what kind of products we have in our AX Pro product family. So in the upper, you can see our AX Pro accessories, our arming tools that can use to arm and disarm our alarm systems, and our repeaters, the sounders, it means output devices. In case of an alarm, these devices can be used to give an output, and there are transmitters likewise. And there are also sensors and detectors. In the middle, we have shown you detectors that can be installed in indoors. PIR detectors. There are passive infrared detectors, and there are dual tech detectors that combines PIR technology and microwave technology that can be used to identify intrusions in your residence or in your business places. And there are also magnetic contacts that can be used to get the status of the windows and doors in your places. And there are also panic buttons so that you can use and arm these alarm systems in case of an emergency. And there are many types of panic buttons that you can see. So as the panic button, it should be in a hidden location that can be pressed easily in a panic situation. And there are also glass breakers that will identify if someone shattered your glasses in your place. And there are PIR cameras that includes passive infrared with the camera also, so you can get a visual confirmation also. And there are also environment detectors. With these environment detectors, you can get an idea about the environment, like the temperature. Likewise, you can get an idea about the environment. Also, there are also smoke detectors that can be used to identify smoke, so you can get an early alarm about fire in case of an fire in your places likewise. And there are also outdoor detectors, just like the indoor detectors, that has been specifically developed for the outdoor environment as also. Outdoor detectors, there are also magnetic contacts, there are curtain PIRs and Tritech, newly developed Tritech detectors that are advanced than the dual tech detectors. And also talking about that, you can simply connect our alarm system with the Heat Connect app and control it through your mobile. And this can be also connected to the Heat Pro Connect for the installers so that they can easily manage the alarm systems as well.
Yes, I think we have come to the major section of today's training where we talk about AX Pro, because today the entire focus of our training program is about AX Pro product lineup. So if you see, the AX Pro actually is a wireless alarm system. So we also have the wired and hybrid versions, but mostly when it comes to the residences and small and medium businesses, they prefer to have the wireless capability, and that's why we have introduced AX Pro. And talking about the key prompts, you can see there's a huge number of key features that is coming with the AX Pro. Especially, it has a built-in voice prompt. So when you're arming the device or disarming the device, you can get a feedback from the device whether it is correctly arming or not. And also, we have a whooping 210 plus peripherals which can be connected to these alarm panels. And definitely the RF repeaters are there if you want to expand your area and fix the devices in some long range situations. As well as we have a PIR cam where you can do the real-time picture verification. For example, you might be getting a PIR alert, but you don't know for sure what is causing the PIR alarm. But if you are using a PIR cam, you can then and there verify what's causing the PIR. Also, our alarm panels support onboard IP camera integration, which means if you're having a CCTV system, you can directly integrate that with the alarm panel. So when also you can link the detectors to work together with cameras, and you can use the CCTV system for dual verification. And also, we are very much careful about the redundancy and the performance. Therefore, we have included dual RF chips in our panels, which are able to handle long range communication. So we have proprietary technologies called TriX and CamX, which we are using to communicate with our peripherals. And also we are having common voice and message. So if you are putting a SIM card into this alarm panel, you are able to receive the voice and message services through it. We have got the common electronic key and certifications for this product. So it is safe to use in the business and residential environments. And also when it comes to the connectivity, we have, as Varuna mentioned, we have LAN, Wi-Fi, GPRS, and 3G and 4G. Also, to keep the redundancy in place, we have dual SIM cards. So if you have any problem with one SIM card, the other SIM card can take over and handle the situation. This is a total set of features packed into a tiny device, as you can see, which gives you so many capabilities to implement your alarm system, whether it's your home or whether it's your business place. And going forward, we can talk about the AX Pro product range. So there are three key product categories when it comes to the AX Pro panels. First one is the AX Pro LM, AX Pro M2, and AX Pro M2H. You can see the size is gradually increasing when you go to the right. It's because of the battery. So if you go for a AX Pro L-M, it can give you a runtime of 12 hours when there's a power failure. And also it comes with 64 and 96 wireless inputs and outputs. So we can connect up to 96 peripherals, various their devices into the panel. And if you go towards M2, which is in the middle, it can give you backup up to 36 hours and with 96 wireless inputs and outputs. And finally, M2H is coming with again 36 hours, but it is supporting wireless and wired, which is kind of a hybrid system. So you can go up to the 96 wireless inputs or outputs. And on top of that, you can have 16 wired inputs and 2 wired outputs. So which is very good if you have certain existing sensors, wired sensors that you want to integrate with the new system that you are deploying. So you can put something like AX Pro M2H, where you are able to connect existing wire detectors also into the same panel. So depending on your requirement, maybe you are better off with a 12 hours backup. But if the place is very crucial, and if you want to have some significant amount of backup, you can go for M2 series model. So depending on your requirement, you can check this out and select a suitable model. So if you go forward, we can talk a little bit more about these product ranges. So as you can see, the M2H model is in the top. So you can see DSPWA96 means 96 wireless zones can be supported there. Also, we have M2 model again with without the wired zones. Also, PWA96M WE M series model also there. So depending on each model, you can see what are the scenarios that they are more suitable. For example, if you see the 9 hours battery backup system more suitable for apartments and offices, but if you want more battery and more duration, you can go for a high-end projects like such as shops, hotels, even warehouses and shopping malls. You can use this kind of a system. So I believe that our audience got a clear idea about our AX Pro product range and how to select the particular panel more suitable for your requirement. And we have introduced another really interesting piece of gadget, which is we call it as wireless expander. So the wireless expander is actually a transmitter and can be called as a relay. So what this will happen is, if you have your AX Pro wireless system and you have certain existing wired equipment that you don't want to lose, that you want to integrate with the wireless system, so you can use a expander and link that expander to the wireless panel. So also we have certain relays like single output relay. So you can control certain electronic appliances such as maybe refrigerators, maybe televisions like that, you can control through the panel. And as well as we have the multi-input output transmitter, which can support up to 16 inputs and 2 outputs, and also coming with a backup battery again there. Also, if you just want a single input transmitter, you can use our single input transmitter, which can also support one channel input and one channel tamper input. Talking about the smart automation, nowadays, every household is moving into smart home concepts. So we have not left behind. We have upgraded our technology to support the smart automation as well. So as you can see, we have mentioned certain models here. We have the wall switches you can purchase, which can control the air conditioning, like I mentioned in the previous slide. If you go for this model, DSPM1-01-WA/WB, these are models which is capable of handling electronic appliances such as air conditioners, heaters, lamps. So you are able to directly control those from your mobile application, which is High Connect. Also, we have certain relay modules, so which can work as a lock for you to maybe open your garage door, enable a sounder, or enable an electric lock. And also we have the smart plug. So without disrupting your existing setup, you can just place the smart plug in between your electrical socket and the electronic appliance, and you can convert that particular device into a smart device. So these are all can be integrated with the alarm panel and later on can be managed through our High Connect mobile app. Multiple IO transmit, I think this can be very useful for our viewers, right?
Yes, of course. Regarding the IO transmitter, its main purpose is going to wireless panel, going to inputs and output for a wired device. That means there is any input and output you need with wire, you can use this multiple IO transmitter for that purpose. There is few functions for this transmitter, especially is ultra long RF range, 16 input and 2 outputs, and also 2-channel power supply, because if any power failure for one power supply, you can rely on other power supply. And also it has lead acid battery which supported up to 36 hours for backup time. And also it is easy to configure with mobile app remotely. And also for the status indication, it has LED indication lights.
So if you are willing to expand your capacity and also looking for a way to use your existing peripherals, you can go with one of our IO transmitters. The model is listed here. And with this system, Tarindo, of course, as you mentioned, we are able to use existing wired peripherals to link with the current panel that we are showcasing today. So with simply, you can simply replace the X Pro, purchase the X Pro and use the existing products. So I think with that, we have come to an interesting point that today we majorly focus on configuring this AX Pro panel. Tarindo is having an AX Pro today, and we are first going to show you guys the setup. We have the AX Pro panel, and for arming control, we have a key fob and a PIR detector and a door contact. So these four things are today here with us, and we are going to show you how to configure this entire panel using High Connect mobile app. So I think all of you are familiar with our High Connect mobile app. If you don't know how to install it, you can simply go to appstore.highvision.com and just download High Connect app from there. Taridu, I think you have connected the power and given also installed a SIM card, right?
Yes, this is a SIM card slot for the SIM card, and this is power on off button, and this is power cable. Just it. Now we can go on to set up the device. I'm opening the Connect app.
Okay, I see Taridu, now you have opened the High Connect app. First thing we should do is add this device to the app. Can you show us how to add the device?
Sure. For the device ID, we are using QR scan method. So just click the plus icon, then scan QR code. Then we need to scan device QR code, then Zapier AX Pro device. So we need to add device to our account, click connect account. So just click add. Now it's adding complete, just and we are going to next, it save the device name. Before this, if you do not connect these devices to network, it will pop up the connectivity configuration. It's pop-upping Wi-Fi or LAN. So you can select that one. If you need connect to the Wi-Fi, just select the Wi-Fi. Then in that moment, a device will connect like access point mode, and you can connect within the app and enter your Wi-Fi credential, and you can save it to device, then device connected to network.
So what do you mean, Taridu? It's like first time when we are connecting for AX Pro and when we are adding it to the High Connect, if the device is not connected to the internet, first it will ask you a method, which way you prefer to connect to the internet. So you can select if you have already given a wireless wired connection through your LAN, you can select wired, or if you select Wi-Fi mode, it will connect to panel first through the AP mode and ask you to enter your Wi-Fi credentials, right? Select your Wi-Fi network and enter the Wi-Fi password. And when successfully it's connected, you will be seeing the AX Pro connection established, and in the app, you can see this kind of a interface. I think area is more like managing your sensors, like grouping into the different segments, so you can easily manage it, right?
Yes, correct. So we just try to add the device. We can go to the device section, then click the plus mark. Now it's again scanning the QR code. So
we are going to scan the QR code of the device, right?
Yes.
So we are now trying to add the door sensor, and you can see when you scan the door sensor QR code from the app, it is being added to the panel configuration. And Taridu, you mentioned about areas, like I want to go a little deeper into that. Sometimes in the systems we might be using smoke detectors, or sometimes fire detectors, or sometimes water leakage. Those kind of detectors, I think we want to run 24/7, irrespective of whether we are inside the premises or outside the premises. Because when there's a fire, it doesn't matter whether you are inside or outside, it has to run 24/7. So I think those kind of devices, peripherals, can be added to one area and can be configured to trigger the alarm 24/7, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So now we just add the wireless sensor for door sensor. So we can edit in here. If we add another area, we can select another area. This is only we had area 1. And as you told, there is a zone type. We can select which zone this sensor need to configure.
So the instant zone means that instantly the alert will trigger. Delay zone is there will be a delay. Especially delay zone is used when you want to disarm the system when you enter a house. For example, let's say you are going out of your house and you are arming it. And after you arm it, sometimes when you come inside, the alarm will trigger. But when you enable delay for that particular sensors in your path to disarm, then it will wait for some time until you disarm the panel. We can configure that delay also here, right? And follow zone also similar. When one alarm is triggered, you can also see how it will happen. For example, when there's a delay zone and it detects the triggering, the follow zone will pick up and also do the trigger. So that kind of a thing. Also 24-hour zone, as I mentioned, the fire detection and water leakage we put under 24/7. And we also had another categories for the zone selection. Depending on your requirement, you can select suitable zone type for your zone. And I see so many settings here in here, right? Tanu, I think most of the settings we can keep as default. And
Yes.
if you want to explore more features about the each setting, you can dive in and check those as well.
Save as with the default setting, and also we can add another info. Just plus icon, then scan the QR code.
So adding peripherals to this system is like super easy, right? You just click on plus icon and scan the QR, and certain devices, I think this key fob is asking for you to press a button. So just to ensure that you are actually enrolling that particular keyboard. Adding is very simple, and also each device I see there's a user guide also. If you want to check further details, you can check it. Anything else that we are trying to add today, Taridu?
Oh yes, we can add the EIR sensor also. We have the EIR sensor can same as scan the QR code. Need to power up the device.
So PIR after the QR scan, you need to trigger it, right? Each device.
For this function, this device has a power button, so we can just power off and power on. If there is power off, we need to power on the device.
Okay. What else that we can check? I think configuration is pretty much easy. You just add the relevant devices into the panel. After you add the panel into the high connect app, then how about Tarindo? How about arming? How about the arming panel? And I think there are two major concepts of arming: home arm and away arm. So I think zone by zone we can do the arming, or if you want, you can see some icons in the bottom. You can also do the all area wise arm at the same time.
We can select if we can add another area, we can select that area also and do arming. So
Okay.
this select one, we do arming.
So now the panel is armed, right?
Yes, panel is now armed. It will take little time. Okay, now it's armed.
So you can see the arm type is here under the area name below. You can see stay, which is where you are arming while you are inside the house. We can try to trigger one of our sensors and see how the panel responds and how do we get the alert to high connect app. Okay, you can see in the high connect app, you can see that there it is showing as the alarm is triggered. And
We will go into device section. We can find which device is triggered.
yes, so you can also find the device which device is triggered, and this app is now open. But if you keep it closed, you can get a notification, as well as we can also configure other settings in the panel, right? Tariq, if you go to
Yes,
this,
we can first of all for the panel status, we go into status tab. We can find more details regarding the panel health, power supply, Wi-Fi strength, and cellular network, cellular mobile data usage, battery status, like that. We can find all the details. We go into setting in top right corner. We have many more settings regarding the user management. We can add another user, or we can add a card.
so what you mean to say is, Tariq, we can do the complete configuration using high connect app. No need to do anything else. And you can see so many settings are there. So in our presentation, we mentioned, Tarun, that we are able to link network cameras, also send SMS and do certain configurations. So all the configurations can be handled through this settings page, right?
Yes, correct. We can check network camera channel. We can add the camera for viewing. We can add IP camera. It can be efficient or on-if camera, and also there is we can set up area settings and also communication parameters, wireless and wire setting, push notification, and here alarm receiving center settings and notification emails and also intercom services.
Okay. So even we can configure the Wi-Fi network also here if you want to change your Wi-Fi connection. Also do certain device upgrades, firmware upgrades. Those things can be then handled from this app itself.
Yes.
So I think this is very flexible way to configuration of your alarm panel, and I think it is very easy and convenient to set up a alarm panel. So with that, Tarindo, I think we have come to the end of our practical session. Basically, we had a clear understanding about the product family, and we mentioned that today we are going to specifically talk about AX Pro series, which is focusing on wireless communication. And we talked about the topology, how the connectivity is established and what are the zones, arming tools and sounders that we have, and how the devices can connect through internet and do the communication. And we talked about the product accessories and the family, and specifically in X Pro we talk about the available panel options, the 3 panels with different types of batteries and different type of wireless and wired zones. And we talk about wireless expander, single or multiple or single output relays. So we can also use these kind of products for smart home automation. And in detail, we discussed about the IO transmitter, which is coming with built-in 16 inputs and 2 outputs. We showed you how we can use the existing detectors to link with the X Pro with the multi-IO transmitter. So you don't have to change your any kind of your sensors. You can use a multi-IO transmitter and link that to the X Pro and directly use your existing peripherals to work with the system. So with that, I think time for us to say goodbye.